Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Rose of Venus Tarot. Thank you so much for clicking on to my video. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you get real comfortable. And if you're returning, hey, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. And thank you to all of those who like, comment, and subscribe. It's really been helping me grow, and I very much appreciate that. And thank you to all of those who send super thanks, the cash apps, those who book personal readings with me. I definitely appreciate you guys putting so much into this channel and this channel. So let's get into it. This is going to be a general collective energy reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I feel like a lot of you guys could be dealing with a ringing in the airs, like because the vibration here on earth seems to be changing. Even down to me, I've been having more metaphysical and spiritual thoughts and more thoughts that are dedicated towards love. I've been more called to do love readings and spiritual readings as far as, and less about the drama readings. And I love getting into it. I love me some what's the tea tarot, but it's like some of these other cards have been reminding me things about, like, sacred geometry and the Bible. I feel like a lot of you guys could be revisiting the Bible or getting like seeing verses of the Bible here and there. And it's like, even when I've tried to avoid it, it's still coming up. Like, even in rap songs, I was listening to a song the other day. It was like, this time when I talk to God, swear to God, I won't cry. Maybe take a little wisdom. I'm like, okay. Like, and then he mentioned, like, and I'm like, that was kind of hit on the spot with me, because I feel like at certain points when I was getting spiritual downloads, it invoked a sense of fear into me. And then, even in this channel, I was like, I'm calling on divine. I'm not calling on spirit, because I'm like, this is bringing in spirits. What is this? It's like, this vibration, the changing of vibration. I feel like some people do have impending anxiety. Other you guys are dealing with a feeling of relaxation. You're feeling, relaxed, you're feeling at peace. And not only that, when I say like less drama readings, surprisingly, I've been having like dreams of like my enemies coming to me and like seeking my forgiveness, like wanting salvation. There could be some people who are realizing the reason you were put into their lives were to help them elevate their vibration. I feel like a lot of people in life, they were wanting more, wanting more, wanting more, without having gratitude of what's there. And there's nothing wrong with seeking self-improvement. A lot of us, we seek self-improvement, but I feel like a lot of you guys are also gaining appreciation of what you have. It's not, I always tell people, yeah, you're going to, reach those business goals, you're going to gain that money, and you're going to get this. And then, when people are like, money doesn't buy happiness, I'm like, yeah, it does. But like, at sometimes, they're right, it doesn't. Um, a lot of you guys have something that people want, and it's a certain frequency and energy, a connection, and then happiness too. Like with you, some of you guys could be really happy with a simple life. Not everybody has to run their own business. Not everybody has to aim towards fame. Not everybody is willing. And you also, I feel like, are not willing to sacrifice your soul to gain certain things that other people have sacrificed their essence for. I'm not going to say sacrifice their soul, because these things are so, AKA their happiness. Some of you guys may have even given up well paying jobs just because it wasn't leading to your happiness. some of you guys, like even me, I'm happy with a simple life. And that's one thing people note about me is my happiness, my undying happiness. I can get up, go to work, come home, do some tarot readings, take walks. I live in the ghetto. Like, and some people have even accused me of not wanting more. I've been shamed for just wanting love, peace, and harmony. But I feel like the world is now starting to realize the importance of those things outside of the importance of the material realm. The Somebody had emailed me, speaking of the Bible, about the a section in the Bible about the Antichrist, because I had did a spiritual activation reading before this where I had talked about the Bible and how they're trying to, what is it, change our interpretations of it, or well, how did I describe it, as censoring it, and some people are mad, they're like they're rewriting history. This person was like, check out this book called The Antichrist. I was like, it's actually not called the Antichrist is one of the chapters in the book. I brought it up before, and it's called God Man, the Word Made Flesh. And God Man, the Word Made Flesh is like written by like scientists. I've been really into the scientific interpretations of like the Bible lately. And also, who is it, Randall Carlston, and his interpretation of the Antichrist and the beast and Revelations and New Earth and whatnot, and how we've been made to fear these certain things when these things aren't meant to be feared. And then people saying that, some of us readers are led by the devil, all of that. I'm going to read you a small section of it. This book, you could find it for free online, but I'm going to get to the point that I was emailed about. I also leave a link of a person who summarized kind of the whole book. It says, like, this is about basically how to gain eternal life through treating your body right. Like it says, the Bible is really about different parts of the body. I believe it's both. I believe that Jesus could have been both a real person and also, life force energy. Also, did make my first, this book kind of made me get into reading tarot cards, because at first, I was discovering, what was it? My numerology and whatnot, and then numerology and like, and my connection to tarot cards and whatnot, and just connection overall. And I had made a deck called the Rose of Venus Tarot that I did not release because I didn't finish it yet. And one of the cards in it is called the Antichrist, and that was kind of about people making what's good bad and what's bad good. There's also good versus evil happening. This is what's happening too. But I believe even some of the bad people are reaching some level of like salvation. I don't know, because like I said, I've been less like angry at the people who did me wrong, and just like more or less releasing them. But let me read the excerpt. I'll read one excerpt from it. And as I said, like I said, as above, so below. I do believe that Jesus at some point could have been a real person. Some people are like, Jesus represents life force energy, and that's how you gain salvation. But much like the roses itself, that's another thing. Like they say, roses were created from, what is it, the blood of Adonis, due to the love of Aphrodite. So, he bled, and then those roses became out of that. So I believe, yeah, I do believe that blood could have hit the ground, and that over time, hundreds of years, this blood could have transmuted and turned into roses. Like scientifically, how does that go? The law of conservation of energy, what is it? Energy can't be created nor destroyed, it can only be transformed. So I do believe that Jesus or Christ could have been a person at some point who then transformed into Christos energy. And that's just my interpretation of it. They also say that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were some of the original Venetians. Like they came from um Venus to spread love, and then Mary Magdalene was closely connected to sensuality, and then we have such a shaming of sensuality. You know, Basically, a lot of the Bible is about to be reinterpreted. Somebody said it's about anti-Semitism. I'm like, that's just a start. I'm like, they always start with that, even with the what was it? We had like the lost tribe of Israel that used to walk around, and they got them removed because of anti-Semitism. But what it really was them kind of spreading lower vibrational words through other people. They've been around for years and nobody cared that they practiced. It wasn't until that WAP song came out that what air and they got in very misogynist in their speeches. I'm from a place where a lot of people it's surprisingly religious where I live. Like I said, Mormons will walk around asking you to go to church. There are Buddhists who would slip bracelets on your wrists and then ask you for a donation. There are there are Catholic churches with gargoyles up. There are Spanish Catholic, white Catholic. There are Baptist churches who are outside with praise flags, like the lost tribe of Israel used to walk around. And then I noticed they lost their rights when they were shaming people, telling them that they couldn't hang around hoes. They were calling women hoes. And if you're around a hoe, then you're going to be coming and blah, 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 blah. And they were just real upset, sending a certain amount of hate. And then I had recorded some of that speech too. And then right after that, them spreading some sir hate. I see anti-Semitic, and then they got their rights taken away to deliver their message. Whereas, now people who walk around, they're like, would you like to come to church with us? Okay. Would you like, they're not able to spread the same amount of basically your frequency. You can't, you're not going to be able to spread a certain amount of hate. You're going to have to be strategic about how you spread the word of God. The frequencies is changing, and it's always about that. Right nor wrong. Like I connect everything all together. I'm like, it's not right versus wrong. It's not math versus the Bible. It's not scientists versus religion. It's all one and the same. That's why I really connected with this book, because they connected to astrology, to science, to spirituality. I'm like, this is something I can understand. I'll read the chapter, and that's the chapter that's on the card. It says, primitive Christians, the Essenes, fully realized and taught the great truth that Christ was a substance, an oil or an ointment contained especially in the spinal cord, consequently in all parts of the body, as every nerve in the body is directly or indirectly connected with the wonderful river that flows out of Eden, the upper brain, to water the garden. The early Christians knew that the scriptures, whether written in ancient Hebrew or Greek, were allegories, parables, or fables based on the human body, fearfully and wonderfully made. The Indets knew that the secretion, gray matter, creative, which issues secretes from the cerebrum, was the source and the cause of physical expression called man. And they knew the river of Jordan was symbolized in the spinal cord. that the Dead Sea was used to symbolize the sacred plexus base of the spinal column, where Jordan, the spinal column, ends, exemplifying the entrance of Jordan into the Dead Sea. The thick, oily, salty substance composing of the sacral complexion, Cata equina, tail of the horse, may be likened to crude petroleum, mineral salt, and oleum, thinner substance and oil. I'm going to link the person who explains. And then, as I look at the sacred geometry cards, I think of what is that? Randall Carlson, a famous mathematician. Somebody pointed out that I got math and all of those things on my arms, and it has the live plus love spelled backwards. I actually used a lot of frequencies to heal myself, heal my mind, heal different elements that I had. And that's when I kind of discovered this. And I ran across 666. 666 and 999 are of significance. And I'm going to link what he said here. So hopefully that comes out correctly.
You're all familiar with things like, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, 666. You ever heard that? Probably the most famous and controversial number out of the Bible, 666. Well, if you want to understand what that is actually referring to, you have to peel back the outer literal representation of these tales and look at the underlying mathematical architecture, because that's where it's concealed. And it actually turns out that the orbital velocity of the Earth around the Sun is 66,600 miles per hour, exactly. Again, from the book of Revelations, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount of Zion, which to anybody who's versed knows that that's a reference to the sign of Aries, the lamb, and with him 144,000, which is this number right here, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. What does that mean? Well, it means, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Now, the reference to singing a new song suggests to me that possibly we're talking about a change in frequency involving life here on earth, and that those who change their consciousness accordingly will be in harmony with the changing frequencies. And I believe that that is one of the core teachings of this, is that as Earth goes through its evolutionary journey through the galaxy, through varying geometric relationships with the astronomical universe, what is happening is that the frequencies impinging upon the Earth are constantly going through an evolution as well. And part of understanding the ancient secrets or methods of the master builders of old was utilizing the sacred geometry.
Yes, I do believe a lot of us, everybody on earth, we're being called to up our vibration to reach salvation all together. Like, that, or for some of us, it's going to be no choice. Like the world itself, there was just an earthquake, in a place where we usually don't have earthquakes. Then the solar eclipse happened, and now it's like the energy is transmuting itself. It's like, a lot of you guys could be being called to up your energy and and your frequency. That also discussed the 101,000, the chosen ones who would gain salvation and what it means. You might, well, I'll link some. They no longer have that video on YouTube. I'm glad I downloaded it, and that's a clip from my downloads. I hope they allow me to post this video, because but you can Google Randall. I put his name there, Randall Carlson. Not Google, you can YouTube him, and his link, I might try to secretly re-upload that video and then put a link there, so you guys, because I'm feeling real called to give people the the my spiritual knowings too, on these things to remind people. A lot of people do ask, and I feel like a lot of things and what things mean and whatnot, and and why I have a Baphomet and all those things on my arm, but I seem so godly, so loving, and everything like that. But that's what I've learned, that's what I've connected to, and I hope this makes a lot of sense to certain people. I believe, the divine wants to reach people at every single level. Spirit wants to reach people at every single level. I'm gonna pull some tarot cards now because I think I got that out as best as I could. I'm like, how am I going to deliver these messages? And I'm like, I heard that Nirvana song in my head. I believe that song was originally by the the Muppets or the Meat Puppets, but it's called Oh Me. I always listen to the Nirvana unplugged version of it. He was like, I don't have to think, I only have to do it. The results are always perfect. He's like, formulate infinity, stored deep inside me. And that's another thing scientifically, like I said, internal life. Like a lot of us are, some of you guys, some people are going to be reaching eternal life. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you. I'm not going to say who's who. Some of us maybe we did already because we're always being reborn. Some people might be pleasantly released from these chains of reincarnation, and they might be going back to their homes, which is also good. Like there's something about, like the equaling of good and evil. Like, like not that's nor bad nor good. I do feel like certain people are going to be forgiven for their actions because I feel a sense of forgiveness. Like in my dreams, I was not mad at my enemies. It's like I had an understanding of them in their human flesh. And like I said, and that goes back to Jesus and him being crucified. He's like, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Like, I'm like, okay, a lot of people were acting out subconsciously. They were in their survival instincts when they hurt me. They didn't know, like, really what they were doing. And I can see that now. And a lot of the pain I had from those things were being transmuted. I feel like I'm transmuting their pain, our pain, all at once. You might be feeling like that too. Like at first, I'm not going to lie. And as I've seen another spiritualist said, sometimes I spoke out of a place of hate and pain too. Like, oh, these people, I hope they burn forever. Like, I'm not feeling that way anymore. It's like a pleasant sense of being removed, being detached from these people. Some of you guys might also be feeling a detachment from, your so-called enemies, and a detachment from like earthly wants. Another thing I'm feeling is like return to Eden. Like things are going to be like better. I'm getting like hope for the better, where some people they are in remorse that they're not going to be able to play the same sort of power play games that they've played, or they're them benefiting from people not knowing. These people are now learning. What who was subconscious will now be awakening. Everybody's going to wake up. There's nobody who's going to be sleep. This vibe is going to hit. Everybody is going to have some sort of chance, some sort of understanding here. This is what I'm feeling. So let's pull. I'm going to start with the activation sacred geometry oracle, and then we'll see what we get from it. I'm probably going to dive into some love readings tonight. Sacral chakra. Okay, sacral then chakra. We got the sacral chakra. Because I got the sacral chakra, I said I'm going to go back to the God man, the word made flesh. And this part of it, because it says it explains a certain part of the body too that's below the solar plexus. It says, okay, the bodily organ that man in their ignorance call heart is termed divider or pump in Greek and Hebrew. Our blood divider is the bottom that we touch when we think about the upper lobe of the cerebellum that vibrates thought, the lower lobe in the animal, mortal lobe that governs the animal world, the section of the body below the solar plexus, and we know the sacral chakra is right below the solar plexus chakra. Below the solar plexus is called Lower Egypt, natural body, kingdom of earth, Apollyon, the devil, lived, spelled backwards because that's what the devil spells, and Satan, Saturn governs the bow, etc. Okay, so people are saying they put the devil and made it backwards, and because that's something happens, there's a charge that happens in the sacral chakra, and scientifically, that's the charge that happens when you're pregnant. Basically, this is a certain stage during pregnancy within that point of the chakra. They say it connotates to the moon cycles, where it's a charge, an electric charge that causes the molecules to start splitting. And they say that's where you hold the sacral chakra, that's where you hold the Christos or Christ, or that substance that charges up and goes from the body, up into the brain, just to try to explain that. So a lot of you guys are going through sacral chakra awakenings. This could also conate to your sensuality, and that's also why they kind of demonize it. And we look at the tarot card, the devil tarot card, it could represent temptation. I try not to judge, people there, but there's something with the sacral chakra, and that's also an electric charge. That's how they do, what is that? That's how they clone people. They take a woman's egg and then they take a somatic cell. A somatic cell could be even like one of your skin cells, and then they put that somatic cell into the egg, and then they give it an electrical charge, so then it could start splitting. Because a bunch of us, we're like 1,000 seeds. A lot of us, we are not just like, we're seeds. There's every part of us can grow. You can grow another human just with their cell, and then removing the nucleus from the egg. I'm going to put that hair. This is why I pause my videos, so I can have them broken up and would show you um what is that? Cloning and how that's and that's another thing that's coming up. Oh my goodness. The Venetians and women, and and the shifting of the powers to women, because they're like, it's possible for that. Goes back to that the scientists prove in the Bible too, because of the ability and how you clone people. This is why they believe that Jesus, what is that? Oh my goodness, I'm trying to get it. Immaculate conception was possible. And not only that, that Joseph was not a real person, like she'd married, never had a husband. Joseph, what means like the will of God. So, like, this person had a somatic cell, like a birth that, came out of nowhere and was charged by the sun, or the planet Venus, like came down, and this is how immaculate conception is possible, basically, like how a woman can have a child without a man. Like, that's why I'm like, scientists aren't trying to go against the Bible, like a lot of them try to interpret and prove it. Because even down to, what was it, Einstein, that quote that Ye always quotes about Einstein, Kanye West comes coming to mind too. He's like, what did he said? He's like, Einstein, the greatest man alive. They asked him, not the greatest man, the smartest man alive. They asked him if he wanted to know anything, what would he want to know? And he said, I'd like to understand the mind of God. Because once you dig so deeply into science, it becomes spiritual, like even down to quantum physics, and just, you'll notice patterns. That's how I know we were created in some sort of layers. Spirit, please give me more. What else does the collective need to know right now? What else does the collective need to hear? Communication. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center our of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Yes, that goes back to the frequency, and being mindful of, a lot of you guys are asking yourself, what is and not just yourselves, you're questioning other people, what is their purpose for telling me this? Like, are they looking to humiliate? Are they looking to uplift? Are they looking to correct? Are they looking to, hmm you're not just taking things at face value. Communication and the way, these things are said, is of key here. A lot of you guys might be questioning communication, or Divine, please tell me more. Divine, please tell me more. Divine feminine. I was just saying that too. The divine feminine here. I'm gonna have to plug that too about Sophia, because that also connotates, like I said, this happens in so many layers of the demonization of, like, Lucifer, and how the planet Venus is also known as I was looking at this. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, a little bit sleepy. No, another name for the planet Venus is Lucifer, and Lucifer means enlightenment and whatnot. And the Gnostics. I'll link all this just so people can have any sort of information. Like I said, it all connects. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing us to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Yes, we're understanding our connectedness now to all creation. That's another thing that's just coming in my head. Like, everything being all connected, math and religion and science and God and the devil, like all of these things connected, all of these things having purpose, you know, when used at the right time. Here, I'll take this again. We got the tantric journey here. Tantric journey. The frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. And I was saying that too is something about sexual shaming and I don't know, like and life force energy here, because that's of significance. What do I want? Do I want some more sacred geometry cards? I want some more sacred geometry cards. Yeah, why not? Pull enough to make it. And then I'll probably pull some angel numbers and close out the reading before I give myself a headache. I got to go back from ignorance to, to knowledge and rest my brain. We got the root chakra here. The root chakra, frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our senses of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. Like I say, yeah, okay. So it's like a more connection to the physical world. Some of you guys, I'm definitely feeling that tantric energy here, even though it might be with yourself. No, no offense, more love energy, because I'm like, I think it's crazy how a lot of people shame love making, but then they uphold war. Like, yeah, there should be more love, less war. Not that there shouldn't be certain restrictions on it and how it's expressed. I definitely believe that. I believe they should restrict, like, especially adult sites. I don't think you should be able to access adult sites without having an ID. You shouldn't just be able to click 18 and then go into that. I feel like there should be a separation from the internet. That also brings me into like the new earth and these new world orders. I do feel like that's going to happen from, like, a place of benefit. Some people don't want to be controlled, but you're not going to be controlled. You're just going to have certain restrictions, and that's okay. We got allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So, yes, like I said, it's like, going with the flow energy, allowing. Rather than forcing, rather than wanting. It's kind of, okay, we got Gaia here, and that's Mother Earth. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and the universe that birthed us all. And this is coming out under divine femininity. So, yes. Oh, goodness. A lot of us, that's going to be a change in the frequency. A lot of us, male or female, our divine femininity aspects might be being activated around this time. Like more peace, less war type of energy going on. Synergy, and that's coming out under tantric journey. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar. That new yet exciting concreation can give birth to a new reality. New realities are birthing in tantric journeys. Like, oh goodness. I feel like this kind of summarizes what I needed it to summarize. That reading was long enough. I'm gonna pull some angel numbers, and then I'll pull some angel numbers and some angels too. Why not? I'm gonna just go for it. We got 3, 6. I knew the 6 of diamonds was gonna come out. That's another reason why I had to do that 666. I'm like, because the 6 of diamonds wanted to come out quite a few times. And then we got 5 again. So we got 3, 6, 5 again. I'm like, oh my goodness, these are going to be like all the angels numbers I can pull, but at least I know, hey, I'm protected. There's angels here and whatnot by my side. There's so many numbers in here. Okay. All right, I'll read you the interpretation. Okay, angel number 365 is a message from your angels that the changes happening around you have been manifested by your true inner desires to make positive changes in your life. Go with the flow, safe in the knowledge that your material needs will be met during impeding transitions and changes. Angel number 365 is a message that your changing ways and views about both the material and spiritual worlds are helping you to find balance within yourself and your life in general. Trust that these positive energies will attract abundance and prosperity into your life. Use positive affirmations and higher intentions and actions to continue to manifest ample supply and wonderful opportunities into your life that will improve your finances, health, and well being, and other important aspects of your life. When major changes take place in your life, stay grounded and centered no matter what is happening in your life. This inner foundation of peace has a powerful healing effect, and your outer life soon reflects your inner peacefulness. Trust that a peaceful outcome is ensured. See it saying, trust the peaceful outcome is ensured. Yes, I'm like that. That resonates. Let's get some angels now. It's almost time to change my hair. I love when it's time to put a new color in. Ray ALL, the expected God, liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Told you I've been dreaming about my enemies. We got Haniel. I was like, wait. I was like, I usually pull a archangel. Haniel, joy and pleasure brings happiness to couples, removes negative energy, joy of God. So for you guys, and that's coming by the tantric. So yeah, joy to lovers. Some of you guys are about to be falling in love. Like I said, I've been getting these loving downloads. Might be me, who knows that. Mama Maya, God of the end of the universe, endings and rebirth, influences health and longevity. Endings and rebirths influences health and uh, longevity. God, the end of the universe. That's interesting. Angel to pull. I told you everything is just so connected. The favorable God we got here, Aladaya. I think that is. I'm going to look up the pronunciations of these. Divine grace cures rage and pestilence, absolves the guilty. Yeah, like I said, I felt like a soothingness for my anger too. So a lot of these angels might be joining us at this time period. Oh my God, I can pause that one. First angel number 29, which is Rael. And then we got, behold, God is mine, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. The person born under Rael will be distinguished by their virtues and zeals to propagate truth and will make every effort to destroy impiety through their writing and by example. Rael protects against the impious and the enemies of religion, delivers from all enemies, both visible and invisible, and rules over religious sentiment, divine philosophy, and meditation. Soul guardian for those born from 9:20 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the April 17th, June 28th, September 8th, November 19th, and January 30th. Physical guardian for those born from the 7th to the 11th of October. August, I'm sorry, the 7th through 11th of August. The 7th through 11th of August. You just do that here. What was the other one? We had Haniel. I believe that's the archangel. So the archangel Haniel, the Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and rich in love. The archangel Haniel brings happiness to couples and removes negative energy. He rules over the order of the principalities. Some of you guys are having a real protected divine love. You got the angel of love protecting your union. 72. So if anybody's been trying to throw negativity at your union, they're probably not very happy. Oh, that's the last angel. I should have known. And this is representing death. This is connected to the death tarot card. And it says Mumia. Mumia. Okay, this is Mumia, an interesting angel. Mumia, return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath dealt bountifully with thee. Those born under Mumia will be distinguished in medicine and will unveil secrets of nature. Mumia protects in mysterious operations, brings success in all things, governs chemistry, physics, and medicine, and influence health and longevity. Soul guardian for those born from 11:40 p.m. to 12 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the 30th of May, the 10th of August, the 21st of October, the 1st of January, and the 14th of March. Physical guardian for those born from the 10th to the 14th of March. Let's see if I said Aladiah, right? Aladiah, the favorable God, divine grace, favorable God. And that's angel number 10. Let's go to angel number 10. Past angel number 10. Here we go. No, that's 12. Where's my 10? Eladia. Eladia. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. The person born under this angel influence and enjoys good health and will be happy in their enterprises, esteemed by those who know them, and will frequent sophisticated societies. Eladia protects those guilty of hidden crimes, governs rage and pestilence, and cures diseases. Soul guardian for those born from 3 a.m. to 3:20 a.m. Moral guardian for those born on March 29th, June 9th, August 20th, October 31st, and January 11th. Physical guardian for those born from the 4th to the 8th of May. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I enjoy learning and growing with you guys. Hopefully, I will see you next time. Love you. Have a good day, night, evening, whenever you're catching this reading.